Hi, I'm Sarah. Welcome back to my channel where I talk about my journey to sustainable health and meaningful success. If you're coming back and you've already subscribed, welcome back. Y'all are my people and I love you so much. And if you're new, I hope you'll consider subscribing by the end of this video. It's going to be a short one today. It's my August health update. And I don't even have notes for this because I'm just feeling a little bit overwhelmed. And I think that I'm just gonna put this video out, let you know where I'm at, and and hopefully it'll be relatable. Hopefully it'll benefit you as well, just kind of to know that like our health journeys aren't linear and it's not just gonna be perfect all the time. This month has been really stressful, just in a lot of different ways. Financial health is fine. I'm paying all my bills and everything. I tried going back and donating plasma for a couple weeks, and because you make some money out of that, and I was thinking, well, maybe that would be good to supplement my income. And it just ended up putting a lot of stress on my body, and I didn't even realize how much it was taking out of me. And so I decided to stop that halfway through the month. But financial health is like good and fine. And social health, I've been really connecting with my community, connecting with friends, and just surrounding myself with people, listening to their stories, their experiences. For those of you who haven't been really keeping up with my channel or you're new, I live in Kenosha, Wisconsin, where recently Jacob Blake was shot by a police officer 7 times in the back. And I have made my opinion known about this. I think that was unjust. That was just brutal and unnecessary. And so I am of that opinion, and I also don't support the riots in Kenosha. I do support people protesting, and I've been a part of like a prayer rally for that and stuff. But it's been a lot. It's been a lot to process. And so in the context of this video, we're talking about my health journey. In no way, and I want to clarify this, in no way do I think that my problems are like as big as anybody else's or whatever. I'm just talking about my problems as it relates to my health journey, but I'm not saying like, oh, woe is me, everybody should feel sorry for me and all the problems I'm dealing with. I'm just talking about it with regards to how it's affecting my health. The fact that living in Kenosha is a stressful thing, and having a military presence and having grocery stores and gas stations and all businesses shut down, and businesses in my neighborhood are boarded up so that there's nothing destroyed. And it's been a hectic time for the past like week since this happened. And I also commemorated, I guess, the 1-year anniversary of my miscarriage on the 23rd of August. And that was a really sad day. I stayed to myself, and I have just been really struggling with stress, the change of seasons and just everything going on around me. And I know that a lot of people are kind of going through just stressful season changes. It might not even be similar to my struggles. I know a lot of people have kids that are going back to school, and schools are, having a hard time finding solutions to, keep everybody safe and healthy, but also educate children in a way that's going to be best for the kids as well, and the teachers and everybody. And so I know that there's just a lot. It's a stressful time. It's been a stressful year, but I personally have felt August be really stressful. So with regards to my social health, I have not isolated myself emotionally. Like, I've been reaching out to friends, texting, communicating in any way that I can. Obviously still trying to stay social distanced and like trying to stay mindful of public health. Sorry, I'm like fighting a sneeze too. It's a rough time. So trying to hang out with people and have meaningful conversations and just quality time with the people that I love. And spiritually, it's been a tough month, but still continuing to seek peace and share love and find joy wherever you can. And so that's been really good with the community that I've been hanging out with also. And just like finding prayer opportunities and, all of that. It's just been, it's been a lot to deal with. So then physically, this has all been reflecting, all of the stress and everything is reflected on my physical health. I ended up gaining 2 pounds this month. So I'm at 302 as of this morning. So that's still 50 pounds down, but it was in a different direction than what I had hoped. Obviously, I'm always hoping for weight loss, but this month it didn't happen, and I ended up gaining a couple pounds. And honestly, I've been like beating myself up mentally about this for the whole month until this morning when I saw that I was 302, and I was like, you know what? Then this is how it's supposed to be. Like, I'm not saying that I was not in control of myself or anything like that. Like, obviously, I made food decisions that were not conducive to losing weight. On top of that, I have not been getting good sleep. And there's a bunch of factors about that. And stress. And even if I'm not making choices of food that's like, maybe I'm not binging, but I might be eating foods that are like higher in sodium. And so there's just a lot going on, and I'm not going to make a big deal out of that 2 pounds. I'm really not. In fact, after reflecting on that further, I have realized that this whole month for me has been a mental battle, because as someone who is like going to school to become a health and life coach, also realizing that I have my own struggles with health and life, it kind of is challenging to not feel like I'm an imposter, like the imposter syndrome of why am I telling people how to live, or why am I trying to help other people overcome their struggles when I'm currently battling my own stuff as well. And that has been really discouraging. But then also realizing that it's because of these struggles and the understanding of life not always being perfect and not always being able to stick to whatever we have planned out, because life is unpredictable. And life is not a linear path. It is a journey. There are ups and downs. So in a way, there is absolutely no reason for me to feel like I'm less qualified to help other people through what they're battling. Because if I'm also, battle scarred, then it kind of proves the point that it's possible, right? And then reflecting back on this month, realizing that in the past, how I would cope with this amount of stress in my life, I would be in the drive-through multiple times a day. I would go to multiple drive-throughs for one meal and be like, okay, I'm going to get fries from here. I'm going to get a burger from here. I'm going to get pizza from here. And I'm going to have like this massive food binge. And that would happen often. And so to reflect on this month being so emotionally stressful, but also knowing that I have been meal prepping, I have been walking a ton. And actually, who's to say that I haven't just gained muscle? Like, I've been walking a lot. Until obviously the streets of Kenosha was not really safe to walk alone on. But so I've been doing all of the things. Like I did some yoga. I've been trying to discipline myself in my sleep schedule. And I've only been through 2 drive-throughs this month. 2. And And one of them, I am like proud of myself for just getting the one meal and not overdoing it. And one of them, I made mistakes and learned from those mistakes. And that was something that I'm like, all right, you know, note to self, you don't have to have the fear of missing out on every food that you order from the drive-thru. The drive-thru is always going to be there. Food is always going to be there. So I don't have to have the fear of missing out on my favorite foods or foods that are limited time only or whatever, you know? So all in all, it's just been such a struggle month. and I feel like I've been more mentally conscious toward the decisions that I'm making and towards just all of the things that I'm struggling with. Like my body is sending me so many signals because I'm so stressed, and just being in tune to that and knowing, okay, you know, vending machine food or fast food or too much food or even too much of like good food, it's not solving the problems. And just kind of taking a moment to acknowledge the victories of this past month. For instance, I remember within this month that I have actually mentally acknowledged to myself, food won't solve this problem. What you're feeling right now and how you are feeling right now will not be solved with food. And actually just having the presence of mind and awareness and response to my body as knowing that food wasn't the response, like food wasn't the answer, is what kept me from driving to the gas station and buying a pint of ice cream because I craved something. But knowing that food wasn't the answer prevented me from actually seeking the answer in food at that moment. And it's just happened so often that a 2-pound weight gain is, in my opinion, a victory. And I hope that is like semi-relatable, just because I think a lot of people think that dieting is like, if you're going to be successful, you never fall off the wagon, or, and I actually don't consider this month being falling off the wagon either. I don't think that I failed, and I certainly don't think that I didn't make progress, because struggling through this month, fighting through this month and surviving all of the mental whatever that I have faced, because like, you know, depression and anxiety are pretty present in my life. And I struggle with my own internal battles. So when things are not at peace in the world around me, that's like added on top of the stuff that I just deal with on a day-to-day basis. And I'm sure a lot of people can relate. So the fact that this month I found so many different ways to cope, and I didn't just binge eat all of August, and that wasn't a 10-pound weight gain, it was a 2-pound weight gain. I think that was actually tremendous progress. I did the 2 videos on the 8 paradigms that shifted for me when I decided to stop dieting and started to really just start living and listening to my body. And to know that that's the kind of relationship with food that I have been fighting to have this month, that your relationship with food and your body is often more impactful than the food you actually eat. And the fact that, yeah, food was just one part of the issue for me this month, or one just factor in the battles that I've been facing this month. And to know that even in the midst of all of this stress, that I'm still asking my body what it needs and finding within myself the strength to continue to find alternatives to coping mechanisms that obviously have not proven effective or have proven to be a more harmful solution to my problem, and actually like really trying to find things that work for me. So I guess just in closing out my health update, I'll list some stuff that that has been helpful for me to get through this month. First of all, talking with people and connecting with people that I love has been really key, including connecting with God and praying and trying to be more spiritually focused, because in this world and the current struggles that we're in, I think is very, very affected in a spiritual sense. And I think our spiritual efforts really do make a difference in our communities and in our own hearts. So there's that. I've been walking and doing yoga, doing physical things that kind of break me out of a rut when I feel like I've just been craving food and craving food and craving food. Like sometimes I just needed to reset my body and go on a walk and feel some sort of physical interaction that's not food. So I think that's it's almost like, and I'm not any sort of psychologist or anything like that. I'm just saying, in terms of when you're dealing with anxiety or pain, or depression, people who are more inclined to do self-harming activities in order to feel something, that is like, I feel like that is some sort of expression of or just desperation to feel something when you feel numb, or when you feel like you just need a change, and you need to focus on something different than your internal struggles. So you do something physical to express that. And for me, that self-harm was food, especially during the time of my binge eating disorder, where I really struggled with that. So now, realizing that going for a walk and doing some physical activity has that same effect, but it actually solves some of that problem, because it doesn't trickle into like a spiral of self-hatred and self-loathing and just like guilt and shame, and also the physical damaging effects of a large amount of junk food. Instead, to go on a walk and feel that physical change, and be able to express something and get that physical reaction where you're actually working out your emotions, but then to feel good and feel accomplished and feel healthy and like you're actually making progress, that has been really helpful. So I have found a lot of mental comfort just in walking, and not even for weight loss purposes, but just like physical mind-body connection purposes. And in terms of like replacing things for food, I don't carry cash in my wallet anymore, because I don't even like the idea that I could have the option to buy something from the vending machine. So I either don't carry cash or carry bills that are larger than what the vending machine will take. And I have been drinking a lot more tea. So I bought a box of tea to have in my cubicle. So when I am feeling like I could go for a snack or something, I drink tea instead. And this, just know that in the context of, it's not that I'm trying to starve myself or not eat when I'm hungry. It's to consume something different when I'm just feeling peckish and in the mood for something that is health destroying. So trust me, your girl ain't, starving herself or trying to be malnourished, but in an effort to kind of distract from the urge to just eat out of boredom and eat not very healthy foods out of boredom, I drink tea instead. So that's been a really effective method for me to distract myself. So I've been coping well with that kind of stuff. I also started clearing out some of the clutter in my life. I've just been having a lot of stuff on my to-do list mentally that keeps like nagging itself. Like, it's just The mental health struggle this month has been so real. I want you to like really know that this has been a month. It has been a month that has felt like a year for me. And so I've been like opening mail, which for me, I don't know what it is, but I hate opening mail. So I would have a table, and I also have like a bin that for really old mail, I'll just throw it in the bin. And for my new incoming mail, I'll just put it on the table, and I just don't open mail. I just don't open mail. And so I opened all my mail, sorted out some stuff, ended up getting some money out of that. Also had some things that I'm like, ooh, I really need to address this like within the next 2 days because that deadline's coming up. So just got some stuff off of my mental to-do list, got my emissions tested. Mailed in some court documents, paid a ticket, tried to clear the clutter from my physical realm, because to me that helps with my mental clarity. So this was just kind of I don't know. I hope you can relate. Actually, I don't know if I hope you can relate. In one way, I hope I'm not the only one who struggles with this kind of stuff, but at the same time, if you do struggle with this stuff, I feel for you because it's not easy. But sometimes the number on the scale, the fact that I gained 2 pounds this month, that number in and of itself doesn't actually reflect the amount of victories, just the sheer number of victories that I have experienced. Just fighting my daily battles and finding different ways to cope. And in that, I've experienced a lot of progress this month. So anyway, I love you guys so much. Like this video if you like it, share it if you find it helpful, and subscribe if you want more of this hot mess. It's a good time. Anti-MLM content coming to you on Wednesday. So, okay. Bye.